Greetings. In today's video we will discuss about a book called Endurance and in the Heart of the Sea. After we run through summary and detail by chapter, we will have a look at the key takeaways. And stay with me till the end of video for bonus fun facts. Endurance is a non-fiction book written by Alfred Lansing, first published in 1959, while In the Heart of the Sea is a non-fiction book by Nathaniel Philbrick, first published in 2000. Endurance tells the story of the ill-fated Imperial Trans-Antarctic Expedition, led by Sir Ernest Shackleton, in 1914 to 1917. The expedition intended to cross the Antarctic continent but was forced to abandon its ship, the Endurance, after it became trapped and crushed by ice. Shackleton and his crew then faced incredible hardships and adversity as they struggled to survive in the harsh Antarctic environment, living on the ice floes for over a year before making a daring escape in lifeboats and finally being rescued. In the Heart of the Sea is the true story that inspired the novel Moby Dick, about the whaling ship Essex which was attacked and sunk by a sperm whale in 1820. The crew of the Essex was forced to abandon ship and take to their small boats, and they then faced starvation, dehydration, and the threat of cannibalism as they drifted across the Pacific Ocean for over 90 days before finally being rescued. Both books are thrilling tales of survival in extreme environments, highlighting the human spirit's endurance and resilience in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. Now here's more detailed chapter-by-chapter summaries of each book. Endurance by Alfred Lansing. Prologue. The book begins with the introduction of the expedition led by Sir Ernest Shackleton, outlining their goals and preparations for the journey. Chapter 1. The crew sets sail from South Georgia Island on December 5, 1914, aboard the Endurance, bound for Antarctica. Chapter 2. The Endurance becomes trapped in pack ice in the Weddell Sea, and the crew spends several months attempting to free the ship before realizing they are stuck for the winter. Chapter 3. The crew sets up camp on the ice, and life becomes a routine of survival and waiting for spring, with Shackleton maintaining morale through his leadership and sense of humor. Chapter 4. The ice begins to break up in the spring, and the crew attempts to move the Endurance through the ice, but she is eventually crushed and sinks, leaving the crew stranded on the ice. Chapter 5. The crew sets up camp on the ice floes and begins to establish a new routine of survival, with Shackleton taking charge of their daily routines and morale. Chapter 6. As the ice begins to break up again in the summer, Shackleton decides to attempt a journey to a nearby island, Elephant Island, to seek help and safety for the crew. Chapter 7. Shackleton and a small crew make a dangerous journey in a lifeboat to South Georgia Island, where they will attempt to seek help for the rest of the crew. Chapter 8. Shackleton and his team make a perilous crossing of South Georgia Island, facing incredible hardship and danger, but eventually reach the whaling station on the other side. Chapter 9. Shackleton successfully arranges a rescue mission for the rest of the crew, and they are finally rescued and brought to safety, after spending over a year on the ice. Epilogue. The book concludes with Shackleton's return to England in the aftermath of the expedition. In the Heart of the Sea by Nathaniel Philbrick. Prologue. The book begins with an introduction to the whaling industry and the story of the Essex, the whaling ship that inspired Moby Dick. Chapter 1. The crew sets sail from Nantucket on the Essex in August 1819, bound for the Pacific Ocean. Chapter 2. The crew encounters their first whale, and the book delves into the details of the whaling industry and the process of hunting and killing whales. Chapter 3. The Essex becomes caught in a storm, which damages the ship and sets the crew off course. Chapter 4. The crew discovers a group of islands in the Pacific and stops to rest and refit the ship. Chapter 5. The crew encounters a large pod of sperm whales and begins to hunt them, eventually coming across an enormous whale that attacks and sinks the Essex. Chapter 6. The crew abandons ship and takes to their small boats, facing incredible hardship and danger as they drift across the Pacific, running low on food and water. Chapter 7. The crew begins to suffer from starvation and dehydration, and some members of the crew turn to cannibalism to survive. Chapter 8. The surviving crew members are finally rescued by a passing ship, after spending over 90 days on the open sea. Epilogue. The book concludes with the aftermath of the crew's ordeal, including the investigations and legal actions that followed, as well as the lasting impact of their experience on the survivors. The key takeaways from Endurance and In the Heart of the Sea are: 1. The human spirit is capable of incredible endurance and resilience in the face of extreme hardship and adversity. Both books tell the stories of crews who faced unimaginable challenges but refused to give up and persevered to survive against all odds. 2. Effective leadership is crucial in times of crisis. Shackleton's leadership in Endurance, and Captain Pollard's lack of leadership in the Heart of the Sea, had a profound impact on their crew's ability to survive and persevere. 3. Preparation and planning are essential for any expedition or venture into unfamiliar territory. Both expeditions faced unexpected challenges that they were not fully prepared for, and it was their ability to adapt and improvise that ultimately led to their survival. 4. Nature is unpredictable and powerful. The crews of both books faced unimaginable hardship due to the forces of nature, highlighting the importance of respecting and understanding the environment we live in. 5. These stories show us that survival is not just a physical feat but also a mental and emotional one. The crews faced not only physical challenges but also psychological ones, including fear, despair, and hopelessness, and their ability to overcome these emotions played a significant role in their survival. Overall, both books provide valuable lessons on the resilience of the human spirit, the importance of leadership and preparation, and the power of nature, which can be applied to many aspects of life. Here are some fun facts about the books and their authors. Endurance by Alfred Lansing. Lansing's original intention was to write a short article about the Endurance expedition, but he became so fascinated by the story that he ended up writing a full-length book. Lansing conducted extensive interviews with the surviving members of the Endurance expedition, as well as their diaries and journals, to reconstruct the story. The book was published in 1959, but it continues to be a popular and influential book about Antarctic exploration. The book was adapted into a TV movie in 2000, and there are plans for a feature film adaptation. In the Heart of the Sea by Nathaniel Philbrick. Philbrick is a historian and writer who specializes in the history of the American Northeast, particularly the Revolutionary War and the whaling industry. The inspiration for In the Heart of the Sea came from Philbrick's interest in the story of the Essex, the whaling ship that inspired Herman Melville's Moby Dick. The book won the National Book Award for Nonfiction in 2000 and was later adapted into a feature film directed by Ron Howard. Philbrick has written several other popular history books, including Mayflower, which tells the story of the Pilgrim's journey to America, and Valiant Ambition, which explores the rivalry between George Washington and Benedict Arnold during the Revolutionary War. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you find it useful to develop Better You Better Me. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check my other videos.